Hello, this is Kate Culver, and welcome to my final project website, Hugo Helper, Guide to Degenerative Myelopathy and Living with Your DM Dog. Not great with names, but when I was designing this project, I wanted to create a website that would have been useful to me back when I needed to help Hugo. So here we have Hugo Helper. Let me describe the elements of my page here. We have our header, our nav bar, the main body, and our footer. I'm going to go back up to the top here where we're going to show you that in the nav bar it changes color and has text description or decoration, text decoration, and this is a 100% width element. I was using the w3.css framework, and this is 1/3, this is 2/3, and that is a theme that I went with through most of the page. Here's my table element describing or detailing the types of dog breeds affected by DM. It is not a comprehensive list. These are the most common at this time. As you scroll down past the diagnosis, defining the diagnosis, we have the DM symptoms. Now, I had originally had this as pretty much a blog describing our experience, but one of my reviewers said that it was very wordy and that to make it more accessible, I should bullet point it. And so I took her advice and decided that to make this an ordered list, the numbers are not visible. I removed them, and I also adjusted the padding in the margin to keep it in a line with the way I wanted the website to look. Here is my back to the top button and my foray into JavaScript with my manual slideshow. One of my reviewers has an issue with seizures, and I made the choice to not have an automatic slideshow because I didn't want there to be unexpected movement in her peripheral vision. And so you can advance the slideshow here by using the arrows. And here's Hugo in various stages of his condition, and big smile. And this is one of our friends who has an elderly puppy, but it's just to show you that accessibility devices are not just for dogs with DM, but for various stages of life. I'm going to go back to the top and move on to the next page. We have accessibility options that we were just describing here in my slideshow, where various times through the progression of the disease, we needed to help him with physical mobility. And so I have described here, in the order that we ended up using them, various accessibility devices. So we have the Help 'em Up harness, and the walking wheels, and a little garden cart. Now, here is a URL. It is active as you hover over it. It changes color, and if you click on it, it should target blank into the site, but you can also choose to go immediately back to your site, so you don't lose your place. And same thing here. Oh, didn't go. There we go. A little slow today. But all of the URLs should be functional and open in a separate target tab. I'm going to go back to the top and look at caretaking aids. Now, caretaking aids, we use the same format of 2/3, 1/3, 1/3, 2/3. But these were some of the products that provided solutions. And while we were using them, we're like, I have this issue. What do I need to do to fix it? Has anybody else thought of using this? I bet this would be useful to other people. And so I created the caretaking aids page. Now, each of these also contains a URL, but also to put them in order, I used not an ordered list, not an unordered list, but a descriptive list with the DL tags, the DT tags, and the DD tags. And what that means is that it puts the descriptor, the item, and then its description underneath it, and kind of like a table, but not really a table. But I did that here, and for general items, and you can click on any of these URLs and they will take you out to a website. I'm not affiliated with Amazon, I'm not getting kickbacks, I just needed a URL and a photo to describe the item that I was using, and that seemed the easiest way to do it. So we have also incontinence support, which is useful for not just EM, but all ages of or needs, and the elderly, dogs, puppies, various other conditions. But you also, these items here helped keep us have a clean puppy and a clean house. If you scroll down further, you get into bladder and bowel management, which is one of those things that as you have a disabled pet, you find it better if they are potting on your schedule rather than a random when nature makes it happen. We go back up here to the top. We will move on to the next page, which is physical therapy. All of our vets agreed that we had to keep Hugo active in order to stave off the progression of the disease. And so then they all gave us different ideas of what to use. So on this page, I showed pictures of various types of therapy. Again, you can click on the URLs and it will take you to the page. There's Hugo swinging. And describes a little bit about the procedures. The ones up at the top were more ones that we felt actually helped him the most. As you scroll further down, here are the more experimental or diminishing returns type therapies. But I wanted to provide the information in case anybody was interested. Back down here to our footer slideshow and click back to the top. We want to look at organizations, and as you can see, I have more of my descriptive lists, and here we wanted people to know that there are communities and support groups available, and that there are places doing research and foundations that provide, financial support, or we also have wheelchair donation programs where they can donate to you, or when you no longer need your cart, you can donate to them and help another family. And those are questions I had when the time came where I still had all of his stuff and I didn't know how best to help other people. I also recommend that if you are in this situation to talk to your vet, and they have patients who can, help you and you can help them. But all of these are different websites that do chair donations. Here's one that's breed specific because corgis are much smaller than boxers and so require different size accessibility aids. If you go back to the top, we're going to go to our final page, which is our Contact Us. And Contact Us here is my form. Now you can put in your name and your email and a message, and these change color as you hover over them. I wanted to make a clickable element for my EULA because I wanted everybody to understand that they needed to be kind and compassionate, that this is a sensitive and difficult subject when you're dealing with a disabled pet. Some people don't understand and are not shy about telling you that they believe that you should say your goodbyes immediately. And that is not the choice that my family made, so I wanted to make sure that no abusive language would not be tolerated and that I could ignore them and they would not expect a response from me if they chose that route. Again, you can go back to the top and I wanted to show you